All right, 7:15 on the dot. Good Tuesday evening, everyone. I'm Fox 19 Now, First Alert Meteorologist Brad Maushart with a 7:15 weather show. Thanks for tuning in here on a Tuesday night. Not so terrible Tuesday. And we've seen some stray showers, but it's making for a really great sunset out there this evening. Really, really nice. We've seen some rainbows. A lot of people sending me rainbow videos or photos in tonight, and hopefully you got to check that out. A lot of those rain showers pushing through. If you're wondering why the rain looks so wispy and how maybe it wasn't even reaching the ground, maybe it looked like a jellyfish, we have some very dry air down to the surface right now, so as that rain from the cloud level falls down through that dry air pocket, it evaporates before it hits the ground in a lot of cases. That's what we call virga, and sometimes it can look like a jellyfish or wispy clouds kind of trickling on down, but we haven't seen a ton of rainfall. It's a cold front that is pushing through, and behind it, temperatures are going to tumble. Maybe not so quickly tomorrow. It's going to feel chilly, and I'll tell you why. But by the end of the week, we have another First Alert weather day coming up, so we'll get there in just a second. Let's talk about our weather number of the day, and that is 40. That was the low temperature yesterday. It was our coldest low temperature of the season so far. Emphasis on so far because, like I said, it's going to be much colder by the end of this week, a sign of things changing as we start to round out October and head into November, and thus the First Alert weather day is in effect there Friday morning. It's just the morning hours. It's not rain or storm related, but it's going to be frosty. Make sure to bring in those sensitive plants, the pets. Frost is likely tri-state wide. Just about everybody going to be seeing the frost outside. Some areas, especially the outskirts of town, could see a freeze into Friday morning. So what's the difference? A frost, you can get that anywhere between about 33 to 39 degrees, right? It puts the frost on the windshield, but it doesn't necessarily end the growing season. A freeze would, and it would kill off some of the sensitive plants outside. A freeze, you have to be 32 or below. And when it comes to freezes here in the tri-state, specifically the International Airport, the official reporting site, we've seen a freeze as early as September 28th. That was our earliest freeze ever. I didn't write down a year. October 25th is the normal, the average, and that would be Saturday. So, if we do somehow manage to sneak down to 32 at the airport, I don't think we will. But if we do sneak down to 32, it would be very close to our normal first freeze date, which is Saturday, technically the 25th. Our latest we've ever had a freeze, we've always frozen, right? Every year there's a freeze at some point, and our latest was November 27th. So late November. A couple dates out there just to put you to sleep on a Tuesday. Like I said, gorgeous sunset out there this evening. Looking at downtown, it's a little breezy at times, but those winds are going to howl up again tomorrow. We'll see some gusts over 30 miles per hour for your Wednesday. We'll see a good amount of gloom hanging around, residual gloom for Wednesday. And it's going to be pretty chilly out there. Not as cold as the end of the week, but definitely something you'll want to put a coat on for tomorrow. We're still at 61 degrees. The cold front has not yet passed us by, but it will soon. You can see those temperatures starting to tumble there to the northwest. Harrison already down to 55, 57 in Middletown, 59 in Connersville, and all the way down in the mid-50s as well in Dayton and Indy. That's that cool pocket of air sweeping on in. It's given us at least a few rain showers, the worst of which are over here towards portions of Highland County, northeast of Hillsborough. The Greenfield area, you're not seeing rain just yet, but you will be soon. That rain is going to be heading your way. Rainsboro, not seeing any rain. Let's move the scene around just a little bit here, and you can see we have a little spotty shower activity up in Hamilton. But Butler County there, Middletown drying out after those stray showers pushed east and out of your area. Pekin, that's going to be heading your way. And finally, if you bear with me in the seasickness, we'll jump around on the radar here and go a little bit farther off to the south. Central Claremont County, this puts you right around just north of Batavia, around US 50, a little downpour there. That'll be heading into the Owensville area. A little shower activity there as well in eastern Campbell County, and then south of Independence, some spotty showers showing up here. As well, Nicholson, Atwood, down towards Walton, past Kenton County, back over towards Boone County. That's it for right now. Let's take a little wider view of what's going on across the area. And like I said, not a ton. Did I even hit play on these? I think I did. Okay, that would have been really embarrassing if I didn't. It's a Tuesday, man. I'm just trying to catch up. A few spotty showers around the area. Again, nothing too terrible. All the thunderstorms have been through West Virginia. That cold front itself just getting ready to pass by here shortly. And as it does, like I said, temperatures will start to tumble off to our west. High pressure is going to help to funnel in our next big cool down, right? How this works, winds around the low, spin in a counterclockwise direction, winds around the high, spin in a clockwise direction. So if you kind of follow that flow, you can kind of see where our next big cool down is coming from. And that will be Canada, Manitoba. It's going to be cooling us down, and we're going to stay below normal, it looks like, for the rest of this work week and the first half of the weekend. Normal, this time of the year, is still the mid-60s for highs. But high temperatures the next 4 or 5 days, maybe, really, we might stay below normal here for much of the rest of the forecast, to be honest. But it's 50s all the way through the first half of the weekend for highs. And you'll be thankful for some of the gloom we're going to see outside for Wednesday as this low kind of pinwheels its way eastward, because it'll help to hold the temperatures up a little bit tomorrow morning. Instead of those low 30s, we're talking low 40s. It's a 10-degree difference. That's what the clouds can do for you this time of the year. So forecast temperatures, as you can see, yeah, it's coat-worthy, especially when you start to factor in winds gusting to about 30 miles an hour tomorrow, when you start to factor in as well the amount of gloom we're going to have. Wednesday, it's not terrible. It's not wonderful, though, either. Here's the wind gust forecast. This works, sustained winds are going to be lower, but at times you will have these gusts to 25 to 30 miles an hour. Those winds calm down by the end of the week. I know that sounds nice, and I'm going to tell you as well, the cloud cover clears out by the end of the week. And you're saying, well, what's so bad about that? That is a recipe for some frost. It allows that cool air to pull down to the surface. You have a little bit of turbulence and kind of mixes the air up a little bit, keeps the temperatures from getting a little colder. But when you see the clear skies, you lose your blanket. You see the calm winds, it allows the frost to settle down, and that's what we're going to see outside. Early Friday morning, and that is why we have that first alert weather day. 35 at the airport and close to downtown. But some areas, that's frostworthy. Some areas are going to be closer to 32, and that is why we will see the freeze in a few spots into early Friday morning. Again, it's just going to be spotty who gets that cold. The rest of the tri-state mid-30s, definitely frosty as you head out the door early on. And then we'll start to rebound as we head into the weekend. Clouds will start to thicken as early as Friday night. We'll see some high thin cloud cover for Friday, Friday night lights. Saturday, UC is at home against Baylor. We'll see thickening clouds, but a change from yesterday. It's looking drier. Our next best chance of rainfall, likely about a week away. Will come in Wednesday of next week. Can't rule out a slim chance on Sunday, but the better rain chances overall are ways down the road. So for the most part, a pretty dry end of October until we get towards, like I said, the middle of next week. 62 with a slim chance on Sunday. I'll show that to you here in a second, or I'll completely skip over it because I've never done this before, apparently. Hold on, it's in here somewhere. I just have it turned off. Here we go. Let's jump into it. It's Tuesday. My brain is at about 30%. All right, where are we at? All right, so Friday morning, that is when we're going to see the widespread frost across the area. Again, clearing skies, calmer winds. That's a recipe for a very, very cold morning. Bundle up there Friday. Expect you're going to have to give yourself about 5 extra minutes to defrost before you can head out and hit the road Friday morning, depending on the intensity of your defrosting system. And then the rest of the day looks pretty good. Just high thin clouds for high school football. We fast forward to Saturday here on your weather timeline. Those clouds will thicken. Later we get in the day, it's going to be the high, thin clouds, and then those thicker clouds are going to roll in with the gloom. But this, as you can see, much drier than what we were showing you yesterday. It looked like we'll have some spotty showers for Saturday. That does not look to be the case. So great news out there for UC. Sunday, there's a shower chance. Just got to squint to see it. Itty bitty chance out there early Sunday morning. Later we get in the day, the drier we're going to be. Great news for the Bengals. We fast forward through Monday because nothing's going to happen there either, which is great news for FC Cincinnati. We have 72 hours of big Cincinnati sports happenings between UC, the Bengals, and FC Cincinnati, and all three of those events look to be really nice. Now we fast forward all the way to Tuesday, and that is where things start to change. Like I said, our next best chance of rain is about a week away. And that's what we're going to see outside Tuesday night into Wednesday. Right now, most of the heaviest rainfall's just outside of the tri-state off to the southwest, but it's not to say that that can't shift between now and then. We'll keep a very close eye on things, even Monday, because, like I said, that whole system could get here a lot earlier. So, or in this case, it could get here later. That's what's happened in this case so far, but that could always shift back. So stay tuned. I know that was very confusing, but for right now, most of us are dry for about a week. We're not going to have any significant rain chances probably until about Tuesday night and Wednesday of next week. And then behind it, temperatures will drop again. So some ups and downs here. The low temperatures into Friday morning, that's where we're going to be our coldest with more clouds and winds shifting again into the weekend. We start to warm things up subtly. just barely above normal for Tuesday and Wednesday, and that's because of all the clouds and that storm system that's going to be rolling in. But in terms of the long-term outlook, now this takes us into the first couple of days of November, because this goes out all the way to 2 weeks, right? The 8 to 14-day outlook. Past our 10-day, we go a couple extra here, and we're going to see near normal temperatures to start the month of November. I think we see a more active weather pattern as well as we head into November, so it's something to keep an eye on. That should help to moderate temperatures a bit anywhere in our area, and you can see that it's going to be a more active pattern. The Climate Prediction Center picking up on that as well, above normal precipitation. Now, we don't typically see a ton anyway, but by November, things do start to pick back up. November, December, we typically get more storm systems rolling through. So we'll see what happens, but above normal, we'll take it because we needed rainfall here for a while. How about a 10-day forecast? Let's just do that. We'll fade into it with that Friday morning first alert weather day. Now, a lot of you think, okay, first alert weather day, that means storms. Not always, right? It's anything that's going to be disruptive to you, anything that could be having high impacts, and a frosty, a cold start to Friday morning that could do it. You're going to have to give yourself a couple extra minutes. It's going to be pretty chilly out there. Just give yourself some time to defrost before you try to hit the road. Do not try to go out there because we're going to have mostly clear skies in the morning. And when that sun beams off of the frost on your windshield, it will be very, very hard to see, if not impossible, and or dangerous. So please don't do that. Friday morning, first alert weather day, and then we clear back out for the rest of the weekend. Great news if you're heading to either UC, the Bengals game, or FC Cincinnati on Monday. All three look fantastic. And for this time of the year, upper 50s, low 60s, not bad. And it's certainly better than the breezy conditions we'll see outside tomorrow. Breezy and gloomy for Wednesday. Let's go to 10 days. How about it? Wednesday is that next best chance of rainfall. Right now, the worst of it around and southwest of downtown. Thursday, we dry out again and cool down again. And Halloween at this point, both that Thursday and Friday, at the end of the forecast here, days 9 and 10, I have a slim chance for showers in both days, including Halloween. It's 10 days away, so a lot can change between now and then, but that's the early look ahead. Mostly dry, but there will be a slim chance for showers. So something to keep an eye on. And then late Friday evening, we'll be dropping into the mid to upper 40s for Halloween, trick-or-treating, trunk-or-treating, and all that kind of stuff. So just be aware of that. The weekend after that, if you're still going out to Halloween stuff, that weekend, that Saturday and Sunday, right, the 1st and 2nd of November, that's still too far out. But for right now, cooler, cloudy for sure. And then we'll see what happens with the rain chances that far out. All right, we made it a whole stream here, almost 15 minutes without any questions, which is fantastic. I'll let you guys go on a great Tuesday. We'll go ahead and wrap this up with, I had something in here and I've lost it. It's all right. It's just another day in Bad News Bradland. Let's see. I had something. That's all right. I know I have a full screen in here somewhere. Where did it go? There it is. All right, hold on. We'll get there. We'll close it out with a sunset. Why not? Just a little bit of dusk still hanging around here, looking back from Newport towards a beautiful downtown Cincinnati. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening, everybody. Bundle up for tomorrow. I do think it's going to be breezy, cloudy, and cool for Wednesday. And then, like I said, a frosty start to a first alert weather day on Friday. We'll have more on that as the week goes on. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening. We'll see you back here at 10 and 11 on Fox 19.